Yes, sir. It is being recorded now.
Good afternoon, sir.
So I would like to describe a brief history about this webinar. Actually, the first part of this webinar was organized on 13th August 2021, and the topic of that was innovations for inclusion of nationalism, patriotism, ethics and values in technical education. Now, when we conducted this webinar was conducted by a highly decorated Army officer, Colonel Anil Bose from Indian Army. Then the chairman, IEEE UP section, Dr. Satish Kumar Singh suggested that the first part of this webinar was organized by a highly decorated Army officer, Colonel Anil Bose. So the second part of this webinar should be through a highly decorated academician. So Dr. Satish Kumar Singh, Chairman IEEE UP section, suggested the name of Professor Nitish Purohit from IIIT Allahabad. So today we have now Professor Satish Kumar Singh, Chairman IEEE UP section, and Professor Nitish Purohit from IIIT Allahabad as the speaker for this event. First of all, I would like to welcome Professor Nitish Purohit and Dr. Satish Kumar Singh. I would like to invite Dr. Satish Kumar Singh to say few motivating words for all of us. Before that, I would like to read out a short biography for Dr. Satish Kumar Singh. Dr. S.K. Singh is with the Indian Institute of Information Technology, Allahabad, at the Department of Information Technology from 2013. Before joining the IIIT Allahabad, he served the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, JP University of Engineering. Yes, sir.
We can skip this thing and we can concentrate on the talk itself. So we can talk about the speaker. So our speaker is very important today.
Yes.
So let us.
So, first of all, I would like to invite Dr. Satish Kumar Singh to say few motivating words for all of us.
Yes,
over to you, sir.
Thank you, Varun. So let me say something about this particular lecture series, means webinar series, and whom we are including in our basket. So earlier the talk was delivered by an army officer, now an academician here at IIIT Allahabad. And as I know about Professor Nitish Purohit ji, so he has started he has taken a noble and noble initiative at IIIT Allahabad in the form of some orientation, where he tried to do one thing. He is actually he has initiated a very big task, and somehow he is trying to spread this concept everywhere in every technical institution in India. So probably this message has already floated via email notification and other things. So what is the purpose? Purpose is simple, that today a lot of engineers are being generated, being produced by various reputed, as well means all technical institutions, pan-India, but something is lacking in terms of nationalism and ethics. For example, these people, how many of them are really interested in serving our own motherland? So he has taken such a wonderful initiative where each and every student, as he is entering into the campus, as in the first semester itself, is being motivated to connect with some social organization. Whatever is the organization, that depends upon their own choices. They they used to select where they want to contribute. So they connect with that organization and then they involve themselves. They devote some time in all those social and developmental activities, which are actually the need of the hour. Many people got connected, and that is true when there is a kid. So first time, how this kid is learning, we need to enforce, okay, that you have to do this thing. And after some time, this is their habit. okay, the kids' habit. And after some time, this is their passion. So at first entry point, we need to push them that you need to do this thing. Then only it can become the habit, and then only it can become the passion. And if it becomes the passion, then our purpose is solved. So exactly and precisely, Dr. Purohit is putting a lot of efforts just to transforming the education of all technical institutions in India. So this way, this contribution is great. We can foresee if the results will come, results will be really great. So with these things, I welcome Professor Purohit on this particular stage. And thank you very much, sir. You have given some time to us. So please discuss with this audience. And we are recording this session, and we will upload this our IEEE UP section website and then circulate the information so that maximum people should listen those concepts. And please, all the participants are requested to spread this concept, and you can discuss with that Dr. Purohit later on also. He can help you to build this concept Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand section wide and nationwide at later stage. With these things, welcome Professor Purohit, and please enlighten our audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Nitish Purohit for his session. Dr. Nitish Purohit is a professor at Indian Institute of Information Technology, Allahabad, Prayagraj. His research work has been published in many reputed journals like IEEE Transactions, IEEE Journals, IEEE Signal Processing Letters, Elsevier, and Springer Journals, IIT Communications. Dr. Purohit has delivered 56 invited talks in various FDPs, conferences, workshops, summer-winter schools, including a few motivational talks to meritorious Inspire NASE school children. His academic achievements includes transfer of 3D printer technology to ITI Manakpur. Its commercial production has been started, handling ambitious information technology projects and undertaking challenging consultancy projects. Also, he is Associate Dean, Research and Development, Chairman, CSTCP, Member of International Affairs Committee, Nodal Officer Study in India SII program. Earlier, he contributed to IIIT Allahabad as Head of EC Department, Associate Dean, Admissions, Assessment and Award, Chairman, CCLCAA Ordinance Draft Committee, Member of IARC, Member of Institute's Advisory Committee. Further, he is an external member of Academic Ethics Committee at IIT Kanpur. With these words, I would like to invite Dr. Nitish Purohit.
Thank you, Varun, for such a nice introduction. Okay, first let me share the slides. So Varun, I hope my slides are visible.
Yes, the slides are visible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So thank you, Varun, for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I would like to thank the chairman of the IEEE UP section, Professor Satish Kumar Singh ji, other members of the committee and the organizer team members. So this is indeed a very, very important topic on which I am going to share some thoughts, some initiatives which have been taken at IIIT Allahabad, the way we have built those initiatives, the way we have executed the idea, and yes, 1 year has been passed, so some result is available. Most importantly, we need to understand that we are celebrating now 75th year of independence, and there is a huge program which is supposed to be organized throughout the year at all the different levels. So I am dedicating this part as well to this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. This is a very good initiative, as I came to know that IEEE Young Professionals on its 25th anniversary is organizing a webinar series and they have identified such an important topic which are very, very important and requires urgent attention, at least in India. So I'm going to speak definitely about the ethics and values part of the curriculum of the technical education. We all have been studying it different parts at different level of the institutes. It may be any university, it may be any national level institute or wherever it is. And we know very well that as of now, our technical education curriculum does not have enough opportunity for exposing students to such very, very important aspects. So something is required to be done, and this is something we are not discussing for the first time. This has been identified long back, and a lot of different proposals have been come forward. There are different institutes which have been working on this part. They have done something here and there as well. So precisely I am going to emphasize on the need, why we need to enhance this parts, ethics, values, and nationalism in the technical education curriculum across India. And I am going to take this IIITA Prayagraj model as an example, just sharing our experiences. What you can identify, this is something which has never been told earlier. As I said, that several bodies have been working on this, but everywhere people are only talking about the ethics and the values. But at IIITA, when we have been starting discussion over this aspect, then this part came into the discussions in a big way. The ethics and values are incomplete if we do not add nationalism to it. And definitely there is there are pros and cons, there are different viewpoints about it. About ethics and values, more or less there is 100% agreement. But when we are talking about the nationalism, then it is really interesting, and that's why I hope that you would like the viewpoint that has been developed at IIIT Allahabad, and we have implemented it. So to begin with, first of all, we need to identify the differences between the ethics and values. What are their roles? Usually you will find that loosely people are using ethics and values interchangeably, but it is not so. Ethics are different and the values are different. So in general, as I said, that I have been a member of the Academic Ethics Committee at IIT Kanpur since last 4 or 5 years, and we have done a little bit more in-depth study on the ethics part, and that's why I am very sure that whatever we are discussing over here, this should have more accuracy as compared to the other sources. So when we say what is ethics, precisely you will find more or less there are certain set of rules, some guidelines, loose rules, whatever it may be, you can say. But these are some things which are aimed to ensure proper action of a person. And precisely this aims to safeguard the interest of other. So any ethics, as I said, that when we go from one domain to another domain, the rules may change, the guidelines may change, but there is some framework which is there. We know that IPR is there, copyright issues are there, and there are so many things. Some ethical points have been defined by different organizations, and for the professionals, these are very, very important to understand, to know those ethical concepts, requirements, and in fact, you will find that in many institutes it is binding too. You need to know and understand what are the ethics, and you need to comply. So this is also something which is changing very fast. And you will find that more or less these are something which are similar kind of rules. When you change the different profession, different institutes, different organization, it doesn't matter, because so you can say these are something which are universal rule which are developed by different agencies, and the primary aim is this thing, that there should not be any kind of cheating, you can say something like this, with the others. The powerful persons should not be able to cheat the less powered person or underprivileged persons. So this is the primary aim of developing the ethical models. But when we talk about the values, this is something which is very, very personal. It cannot be binding. It is personal choice. Everyone knows there are different set of values, and this set of values are coming from the religions, culture, community, family, society. There are so many such factors which are going to develop different values, and that's why values, if you just see at the superficial level, they may be different at different levels. It also dependent upon the personal understanding, personal viewpoint of the persons, and that's why this varies. So whatever is something which I am considering as a value, someone else may say, okay, this is not a value at all. So this is something very, very personal, specific, and that's why you can see that values are something which builds the character. Values are something which governs how you are judging the things. Values are something which are going to determine what you like, what you dislike, and how you behave. So at the first stage, this is something which must be very, very clear to each and everyone, that ethics are different and values are different. If I give an example here, then probably things will be more clear. We have been working in different teams at different levels. For an example, even if I am working in a project or if I am writing, suppose, a manuscript, we know that there are several persons who are contributing. So what the ethics do? Ethics is supposed to force the person that all members of the team must get their dues. So who should be the first author, who should be second author, who should be the corresponding author, all these things. Who should be there, who has done only enough work to be given acknowledgement only, and who is something who does not deserve anything to be there. So all this something, there are no there are several ways by which you can give several arguments, but ultimately it is ethical, and ethics governs that how this kind of decision should be taken, such that the interests of all persons, all members of the team should be safeguarded. But at the same time, how you are behaving with the members of team, how you are taking care, or are you respecting the views of others? Are you extending help and support to the other members? All this reflects the individual values, the values of the individuals. And that's why these two are two different things. And when we come to the teaching aspect, both of these are important. Each and every student must learn ethics. Each and every student must learn values. And as I said, in our current framework, there are opportunities where ethical aspects are being embedded. You see that there are different guidelines at different point of time. Senate is preparing and it is giving circulating among the students and staff and the faculty members at technical institutes, academic institutes, and then we are following it. But inculcating values is very, very difficult. In the current framework, this opportunity is not there. And after realizing this thing, there have been discussions at different levels, and then some ideas have been come. Moving next to the topic of nationalism. As I said, nationalism is something which is required to understand by each individual at much deeper level. you see that this is something which has been highly misunderstood because of some historical evidences, incidences. But recently, you will find that this is something which is emerging very, very fast. Nationalism is benefiting from globalization and is becoming more important than ever. So globalization and nationalism, these are two different viewpoints as usually considered by the scholars working in these international relationships. And a major school of thought says that globalization is more important and overall for the overall benefits of the humankind, one should de-emphasize the nationalism and pre-emphasize the globalization. And this concept has been put forward by different sections since last couple of years, and we have been seeing the results as well. Yes, there are some good results as well. But what are the problems? This has also been now becoming visible. When you just see and try to explore over the internet what is written about the nationalism, how it has been defined, I just went through this dictionary.com definition, and I was surprised to see that the way nationalism is being defined over here, in stating that nationalism is something which can be viewed as a separate from the interest of the other nations or the common interest of all nations. Now, this is something which is very conservative definition. Or it might be true for the other countries, but for the India, this is not true. Our nationalism is different. Since ancient times, our nationalism is different. Our concept of nation is different, and we recognize the nation India by this geographical boundaries. What is India and where is India? This is very, very important. Each one of us in India must recognize that what is India and what are the geographical boundaries. Now, their political system may be different. The political belongingness may be different. The administration may be different. But where is the India? This is something which is there, which has a single thought process since the ancient time. So our nationalism, the Indian nationalism is different. Our nationalism is comprehensive in nature. Our nationalism is taking the entire world together, entire humanity together, and that's why in the India we have to include nationalism in our curriculum, and we just need to teach the right kind of nationalism to our people. And when we are talking about the nationalism, definitely there is no bigger icon than Bharat Ratna APJ Abdul Kalam. Long back he wrote this particular book. Now 2020 is past, and it is really unfortunate to say that we are very, very far from whatever he wanted to attain in 2020. But this book is very, very interesting. If you find some time, you must read this book. It is really, really a good read. I am quoting two thoughts of APJ Abdul Kalam Sahab, which underlines the importance of nationalism, especially in the context of India. He wrote that any nation aspiring to become a developed one needs to have strengths in various strategic technologies and also the ability to continually upgrade them through its own creative strengths. So this is the nationalism. And when it is said, the reason behind this is given in the book. I am not elaborating much about it. I am just giving you the conclusion, what he has concluded. And when something he is concluding, he is giving a lot of examples and the entire thought process that how this conclusion has been reached. But this is very, very important, which is indicating why nationalism is required to be taught. And the second one is also very, very important, and everyone must remember this thing, because this is the past. This has happened several times with India, and that's why it has been pointed out. Developed countries have set up several non-tariff barriers aimed at defying opportunities to other countries to reach a developed status. Even when one country copes with these barriers, a new set of complex barriers crop up. So underlining this particular point, this is a history actually. This is the fact. We are not talking anything superficially. This has been stated based on the facts. There is a history, recent history. We are not talking about the ancient time. After independent India, this is something which we have experienced so many times. So this is very, very important. Those who are talking of the globalization, they themselves are creating the barriers for us. If there is no free flow, if you are developing complex barriers, then the globalization has been failed. So what we need to understand is nationalism is a very, very important aspect in all the programs. At the early stages, we need to systematically convey these thoughts to our students. Once we will be able to create our own strength, then definitely a lot of things will be simplified. So now I am coming to the IIIT's model, having explained the importance of ethics, values, and nationalism. Having identified this thing, what we did at IIIT Allahabad Prayagraj. So yes, the Dean ANR of IIIT Allahabad, Professor Tapabrat Lahiri, initially he came up with this idea that IIIT must start a course which should take care of proper teaching these aspects to all the students. And Senate considered this particular idea. There was thorough discussion, and then Senate constituted this committee. So I was there. I was coordinating the committee. Professor Nina Kohli is an expert of psychology, because Senate felt that a psychologist should be there, and Professor K.C. Gowda is the external member of our Senate. He has been Vice Chancellor. He has a good exposure on all these issues. He is a great learned person as well, who has very good understanding of ethics, values, and nationalism. So Senate constituted this committee, and also it is suggested that we should collect the opinions from different experts who have been working in different domains. So the committee, this Senate's committee, approached and talked to different persons, and we have been very, very fortunate to have these 4 persons as a patron. They have helped us a lot, and as you see, the nationalism as we are talking about, these are the real examples of nationalism. Their life is an example of nationalism. So since we have been dealing with the education, youths, and talking about the culturals, definitely no one can be better than Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe. We know that it is a member of parliament. He is a chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Education, Women, Children, Youth and Sports. He is also the chairman of the ICCR, Indian Council for Cultural Relations. So ultimately, culture has to play a very, very important role in values, as I said. And we have been very, very fortunate that we have received very fruitful opinions, criticism, review comments from these patrons. So I know that some other time, actually it's a very short time to speak about each one of these, but yes, these persons are gem in their own field. They have done a lot of work, and they have helped us definitely in developing this IIIT Prayagraj model of delivering ethics, values, and nationalism. So what committee has seen, we have observed that even UGC's model is there. AICT's model is also there. As I said, we are not the first. There are several different organizations. In fact, there are some private universities as well. They have also done a quite good work. And we have thoroughly examined all these models in the light of the suggestions of our patrons. And then finally, the recommendations were put up before the Senate. And then Senate has agreed to this and we implemented it since last batch, year 2020. All the students in whichever course they are taking admissions, starting from undergraduate, postgraduate program, PhD programs, any program. If you have to earn a degree from IIIT Allahabad Prayagraj, then you must have to take this particular course. It is a compulsory course. So after taking all these advices, after studying all these different models, ultimately the committee charted out this syllabus for the orientation game. We realized that ancient scientific heritage of India is so huge, vast. It is something which is required to be taught to students. Career planning is very, very important, we said. And this is something which is closely linked with the values. And as I said, nationalism. More importantly, the students need to understand that life is a bundle of lost opportunities. So against this ethos, what should be taught to the students? Similarly, empowering the mind, life skill management, practicing and acquiring mind controlling skills. And then the fine details have also been worked out. And this is something what has been planned to teach to the students. So what you can see that once this is being done, the responsibility of conducting this particular orientation camp being the first one, and since I have been associated with the committee from the day one, being the coordinator of the committee, the responsibility of general chair of this particular orientation camp was assigned to me. I'll come to it that how I ultimately organized this orientation camp. Before this, what the camp itself or what the course itself, this is something I would like to little bit elaborate more. So as I said, these 4 credits are over and above the credit requirements of the respective program. So suppose at IIIT Allahabad, 160 credits are required to be earned for earning the BTech degree. 64 credits are required for earning the MTech degree and so on. So whatever is the respective requirement, this 4 credit requirements is over and above this requirements. Now what we have done, we have divided this 4 credit course into 2 parts. One part we are running in this LTP fashion or this LTP fashion, and the other part we are running in this LTP fashion. And the objectives are clear when we see the bifurcation of the hours over here. So L stands for lecture, T stands for tutorial, P stands for the practice part, traditionally. So for part 1, we said, okay, we can keep it like 1 credit for this, 1 credit for this, and there is no practical which is supposed to be done in the part 1. And this is something we adopted for the UG students. The PG students already graduated, so we consider that they are matured enough. So we switch to 0 to 0 mode for the PG students. So there is no lecture. They are good enough directly. Tutorials are there and practicals are 0 in the part 1. So they can have the self study. They can have the discussions, and we assign faculty coordinators in a small number of students. We divided the students in different groups, and 1 faculty member is assigned to each group so that they can have discussion as well. So the director of our institute, Professor Nagabhushan, has given a very interesting elaboration to this LTP. So traditionally L stands for the lecture, and what we are now saying that L is something which is for the listening and learning. So someone is trying to say something and you are simply required to listen and learn. And when we go for the T, then it is for the think and transact. So they need at least a group. Individuals are not supposed to do it. So individuals definitely can think and read themselves, but reading is not enough, especially for this type of subject. You have to have discussion. So we prefer that there should be group discussions among the group members of the students. And if there is any issue which requires discussion with the faculty as well, then also we have assigned one faculty to this part. And the P stands for the prepare and the practice part. So what you can see over here, that it is the part 2 where we have kept the practice. Because whatever we have learned, we are the engineering students, isn't it? So in the engineering, just reading from the books or listening the lecture is not enough. We are required to go to lab and actually perform it. So similarly here, if you really want to earn a skill, you have to prepare. You have to practice. You have to execute the idea. So very intelligently we have done it. And I must say that one add-on course which I have been running since a long time, it is under the name of Needs of Bharat. It has given a way how this is being planned. So some other time I'll explain this part as well, how what we are doing in Needs of Bharat. Just looking into the time, we are moving ahead for now. So what makes orientation camp interesting is this part. In all other courses, we are doing the regular assessments just like this. So just like any other regular course, we are conducting the 3 components. We are conducting the assessment. It's not only listening and go. Just like any other course, there will be assessment. And after assessment, we are required to give the grades as well. And this grade is something which is not aided with the regular subjects, but it is something which is in terms of the qualifier. So highest grade we are keeping as excellent, and the lowest one is the satisfactory, and those who could not give enough attendance and other causes as defined in the ordinance, the student is supposed to be dropped and then he need to reappear in this particular program. So this is the lowest and this is the highest grade. And as I said, lecture we are saying 1 credit means 1 hour and 1 credit of T and P means 2 hours of engagement. So this is something which we have introduced, and we have kept it class apart as compared to other regular subjects, including electives, because the grading is numeric. Here we are not giving the numeric grade. For more emphasizing, CNET has done a very interesting decision. At IIIT, we are giving the institute's medal to the toppers, top 3% of any program. We are granting the gold, silver, and the bronze medals. We are awarding the honors as well. There is some criteria. We are awarding different endowment medals as well. Now it was argued in the Senate and it was accepted that any person who is not learning enough ethics and values and nationalism, whatever may be the other academic performance, at least this is something, this kind of merit cannot be awarded to such a person. So this is something which was accepted, and this has become another very, very important aspect which is binding and which is, you can say, forcing students' interest to perform better in this particular orientation camp program. And yes, my experience is students have really done well. I do not know that if this is the cause or they are actually doing well. Over the time, actually, this is something which can be decided. But as of now, this is the way riders have been associated over the orientation camp program. Now, what we did in the part 1. So in the part 1, I invited 26 distinguished speakers who are well known in. They are conducting motivational talks here and there. They are professionals. They are charging a lot of money for delivering 1 hour lecture. But I requested this, that we are academic institutes, and this is the purpose of this particular program. And I am very happy to say that each one of them, whomsoever I contacted, if he is free, he agreed to it free of cost. They did not charge anything. I really have 26 distinguished speakers on 6 consecutive Saturdays in the online mode. We conducted approximately 1.5 hour lectures. Each one of these distinguished speaker followed by half an hour of discussion. And it was really interesting. I myself attended all the lectures. And it was really interesting to see the students' query. And definitely these are the experts. The way they responded, no doubt about it. Their answer was also perfect. And this is something what we have been looking for. So it was a great experience. Different speakers were invited who delivered the talk on the different topics, and you can see, you can visit this particular website, orientation.iita.ac.in. Entire material is there. There is a video link as well. A YouTube channel has been created. You can see the videos as well, what these 26 persons have said. Now, as I said that this is the program, this is the course where assessment is required to be done. So we asked these distinguished speakers to give some questions as well. And then our DS, our faculty members has checked it and then evaluated them. So this is very, very interesting to see how students have responded to those questions. Because these questions are something which you will not get the answer anywhere. So we created, there are some questions, some speaker says that each individual should answer. Some speaker says that, okay, some group should be formed and then the group should answer. So this is the way differently it is being done. But it was really an great experience. So what were the assignments? What were the study material which was suggested by these different persons? The video that we have recorded, the slide that some of them have used, all this we have created on this particular website, orientation.iita.ac.in. Very soon we are going to publish a report on this and it will be released. Then after I will share it. Just one screen I am going to show you after at the end. It is almost done. Besides the topics which are mentioned in the syllabus, our students Gymkhana came up with one request and I agreed to it. A few social organizations came with a request that we are working with the similar objectives, what is there in your syllabus, and we want to present it, and we allowed. Some organization came up with this particular idea. You can see that this is something which was not there in the syllabus, but this is something which has been identified that these are very, very important issues for all the organizations. Gender sensitization is required to be known to each and everyone. IPR issues are required to be known to each and everyone. And this is something which we have included. We have allowed the speaker to deliver lectures on this gender sensitization, IPR issues, etc. Several such topics. So this is something how the things are evolved. Once you start something, over the time, new set of ideas come, new set of suggestions come, and then you can have your own decisions. What should be kept, what should be discarded, and we have done it. Most importantly, we have given the opportunity to the students that they have listened all these speakers on different topics. Whichever topic that they like, let them come up with their own ideas. Let them come up with their own articles. And I'm very happy to share some of the articles which we have included in the report. What I was saying, they are really good. When you see it, actually, no one will believe that a UG student, an undergraduate student, is writing something on the Vedanta, and it is so good. But it only gives me a feeling that our students are really good. Our students are really good. Just they need some opportunity. If you give them the right opportunity, they will definitely deliver. Now let me come to the part 2. This is also very, very innovatively designed. As I said, that part 2 is something which is supposed to occur in L equal to 0, T equal to 0, and the P is equal to 2. Entire 2 credits are supposed to be in the practice mode. So how to do the practice? As I said, team is very, very important. So we asked the students to build the team. We asked the student to explore the possibilities, just to see what are the different non-profit organizations are there, or you can yourself come with some idea. And then this is something which is required to be implemented, because it is a practice. It is not something that you can simply write an article and go away. You are required to actually plan some kind of workshop. You are required to actually perform something on the ground. So when we say yes, a few students came up with their idea and we allowed them. They have done very remarkable job. They conducted very good drives. They have sent me photos. I have seen it. They have sent me videos. I have seen it. And yes, some of the students have done remarkably at their own, without involving any organization, without involving any such thing. Despite the COVID restrictions, some of the students have done remarkably well. 2-3 foundations, 2-3 organizations very aggressively contacted our students. One is the Umid Foundation, another is the Think India Foundation, another is the Vigyan Bharati organization. As I said that they came to us, asked for a slot. I gave them half of our slot. Not only this, there are several such organizations. I have given half hour to each one of this organization in the part 1. So these organizations come up, they demonstrated the task, different activities that they are undertaking, and then students are choosing which one to join for contributing to the nation, to the society. So 109 students were working with the Umid Foundation, 101 were working with the Think India, and 69 working with the Viva organization, and there are 50 such organizations with which our students are working. And since part 2 is also over now, I am now evaluating the performances of this. Already, as I said, that one teaching faculty has been associated with each one of this organization for supervising our own students. We cannot simply leave our students on directly to this organization. What that has been assigned to our student, this is something which is required to be examined. So one faculty has been assigned to the group of students which is working with any particular organization, and under their overall supervision they are delivering. Similarly, Gymkhana came up with the request that they have been spending a lot of money on the different events, like Aparoksha is a technical event organized by IIIT's student Gymkhana. They are spending a lot of money in this, and they said that participation is not as such so much. So if we can allow the participation in activities of the Aparoksha, or Asmita is the sports event at IIIT Allahabad, or similarly E-Summit is there, IIICs are there. So this is also something which came up and we agreed to it. And I must say that after this, there is a huge participation in these events, and this is something a win-win situation. We want our students to go and play in the field in the sports, and they have done it in the Asmita. Last year, Asmita did not happen, but Aparoksha happened online, and the IIIC's event happened online, and you will surprised to see the participation as compared to the earlier participations. So once the students are participating, I must repeat, students are really good. Just they are required to give their 100% in any event, and you will see the quality. So the quality of eSummit this year is remarkably well, and that's somewhere associated with the orientation camp. So their participation in the eSummit or the Approxa has been treated as an assignment, and other assignment will be taken up from the organization opted. And some students have done the entire 3 assessments, C1, C2, C3 components with a single organization. And this is the way the part 2 is being conducted. Our teaching assistants are there, the faculty is there, they are monitoring the performance of the different students, they are grading them, and then they are giving the results to us. So it's a complete team effort. We conducted part 1, we conducted part 2, we have learned a lot from this part 1 and part 2 conduction. And then when we are going to launch the Orientation Camp 2021, then definitely with all these experiences, you will see a much improved and much better model of the Orientation Camp in 2021. I am hopeful for it. So more importantly, if you see that when we are doing the Orientation Camp, this is something one of the students has argued, and that's why I am including over here. This is something in one of the informal discussion, he pointed out this thing, that this Pragyanam Brahma, it is a Mahavakya of Rigved, which has been adopted by IIIT since its inception. And this is a very much a part of the IIIT Lava. So what has been argued, that till now whatever was going on, it is something related to Jnana only. So what is it? There are some pre-established principles, and we are teaching the pre-established principle. I must note the primary mandate of the IIIT Allahabad Prayagraj, because Pragyanam is something what is we are supposed to do. So what is Pragyan? Pragyan means beyond the Gyan. So whatever is not established, we have to talk about the new philosophies, new theories of ultimate knowledge. Ultimate knowledge. Yeah, this is something which is very, very important to understand and learn. This has nothing to do with any religious practice. This is something really deep. And if you just see the different video lectures which has been uploaded on the Orientation Camp website, there are 2-3 speakers who have elaborated this particular point, what is Brahma. And we are not talking about the Brahma, he is different. Brahma is different. So this is very, very interesting. This kind of knowledge, this kind of discussion took place among the students who are studying the engineering, and actually they are doing very, very interesting discussion on this particular part. And I am really fortunate to witness those discussions. So this is something which I wanted to share with you. Here is just a glimpse. As I said, that a report is being prepared. It will be released very soon, and then I'll give you the entire booklet. It will be uploaded on the Orientation Camp website, and you can have a look at it. This theme is designed by some of the students. As I said, that I really appreciate that once you involve the students, and if they give their 100%, then the delivery is really remarkable, astonishing. The cover page that they have designed, it is really great. Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati rivers are at the Prayagraj. So what is at the Prayagraj? IIIT logo is also there, which is based on this particular thing. So how innovatively they have illustrated this theme and they have developed this theme, it is really, really remarkable. Everything relevant to Prayagraj, everything which Prayagraj can be proud of, it is there on our cover page of this particular Orientation Camp 2020 booklet. And definitely without Vivekananda, neither ethics, nor values, nor nationalism is complete. His truly a role model for us, and this is something, his views about the education, and precisely through the orientation camp, we have tried to realize this dream of Vivekananda, and we hope that over the time we will further improve. So with this, I am ending over here. Thank you so much. Over to you, Vivek ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So I have unshared the slide, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So if any of the student or participant has any doubt, then he or she may ask the question. Any participant? So I think मेरे ख्याल से अभी कोई क्वेश्चन किसी पार्टिसिपेंट की तरफ से कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है. So we also have Dr. Sumit Kumar from Shiv Nadar University, Dadri, who is also the Young Professionals Committee member from IEEE UP section. So I would like to invite Dr. Sumit Kumar Singh to say a few words about the webinar. Dr. Sumit, sir.
Yeah, good evening to all. So my name is Sumit Tiwari and I'm from Shiv Nadar University. So first of all, I offer my regards to Dr. And Professor Nitesh Purohit sir as a speaker of the event and for wonderful talk. Really, it was very inspiring, and first time I'm seeing that some professors in from these IITs, triple IITs, they are connecting us with the ancient knowledge, because I don't know what was happened in last 50 years, that we were disconnected with our original knowledge. So really it was very inspiring, and the concept to taking as a subject in the curriculum that will help to all the students and inspire all the students to connect with our ancient history. So really I'm very thankful to sir for giving us a wonderful talk. Then I am thankful to Dr. Satish Kumar Singh sir as the chair of IEEE UP section for motivation and support at each step. I would also thankful to Dr. Varun Kakkar as a chair of Young Professional Committee UP section for back-end support for the events. And also thankful to IEEE Young Professional Region 10, IEEE Region 10 and IEEE UP section for supporting the events. Also thankful to IIIT Prayagraj for providing this wonderful platform and such wonderful faculty members that we are getting such type of support. Finally, I'm thankful to all the participants, because without participant, the event will not be alive. So I am very thankful to them to make it alive. So thank you so much to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sumit. I would also like to inform our participant that Young Professionals team IEEE UP section is organizing webinar series from 18th September to 26th September. All of these webinars will be delivered by industry personals or academicians from the Institute of National Importance. I hope you will register and enjoy these sessions. All of these webinars are supported by IEEE Young Professionals Region 10 and IEEE Region 10 and IEEE UP section. So I hope that all of you will register for these webinars and will enhance your knowledge. So with these words, I would also like to thank Professor Nitish Purohit that he took out this time from his busy schedule. मैं प्रोफेसर नीतीश सर को मैं इनवाइट करना चाहूँगा उत्तराखंड अपने इंस्टीट्यूट में, that he will visit my institute and also the nearby cities such as Ranikhet and Nainital. सर मैं आपको इनवाइट करता हूँ on behalf of my institute and on behalf of the students of my institute.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.